So it's 2 days before Halloween and everything is pretty much done on the inside. I just have to do all the final decorations, but I've got all of the panels up. I had to shorten this one because it was too tall, so it's just in place on hinges, and then on Halloween I will just open it like that, and then I'll put 3 flat panels going across the front here. And this will be the entrance on this side, and the exit door will actually be over here. And I'll move this on the day of Halloween. We're just going to put it on the side of the house. So as you walk in, we have just a little static display. This is the haunted portrait. We'll have some nice candles that will kind of light the path. This phone goes off if you...
I know who you are.
If you pick it up, it goes off like that. And the only way that works when it's dark is if I have a light up here. So I put a light right here so that when you pass by, it'll go off. So when it's too dark, it doesn't really work. And this is the coffin sit-up prop. I put all new electronics in it this year. Just better sound. And that is activated by a motion sensor. We got some candles next to it. And that, again, that's just attached here with some brackets. It's pretty lightweight. And then this is just a static coffin here with a skeleton inside. I'll probably dress him up. I'll put some Spanish moss in there. One day I'll corpse one of these guys, but just not enough time this year. This is the creature crate or monster in a box. This is just a facade. This lower one, it's just 2 panels that's on top of a wooden box for CrossFit. And then I made some stencils with some UV light, or UV paint rather. And then there's a black light up here that I'll have strobing. And that's the motion sensor for that. But this little vignette is pretty much done. I'll have a couple more little static things to put down there. There's actually a rat down there. This is an old like army type toolbox or something that I found at an antique store. And then as you come in here, this is like the high voltage area. This is an exploding fuse box. So I'll demo all this stuff. I'll do a walkthrough either on Halloween or the day after and film everything. So just still some little decorating. A lot of this stuff I just had some scrap wood and drywall that I was just going to throw away anyway from the leftover from the remodel. And of course all these panels are just leftover from previous Halloween haunts, so I'm just kind of using them to make little vignettes. This is just a chair and a little desk. This is kind of the fallout area, the nuclear fallout area. So I just have a bunch of static props that I'll kind of set up. That's the Geiger counter that I made a couple years ago. And then this will be kind of a sewer theme, and here I have a tri-fold backdrop with this paneling here. And that'll just go up, and then I'll suspend some pipes with some baling wire or something like that. And then the air blast cannon is actually hidden down here out of sight. I just made this little grommet that goes into the panel, and when this goes off, I actually hooked up a Pico DMX controller that is actually wired to this Fog Fury jet. So when the air blast cannon goes off, I think right before or right after this will fire a green plume of fog down. So it's all lit up. It looks really, really cool. And it's completely safe. It's not hot when it comes out or anything. And then this is just my workshop area that I'll kind of disguise with some creepy cloth and just put some more decorations on top. Already started kind of decorating this area. Got my apothecary bottles up there. A bunch of other stuff that'll, like beakers and that I'll put up here. It's kind of the little morgue area. These are all fake props. These are new. I don't like having like big gnarly tools out, so I try to put all of any dangerous type stuff away. You never know who's walking through your haunted house, but usually I'm in close proximity to everything anyway. So obviously this all gets cleaned up. And this is a walkway, or the entrance way to, that's just an attic ladder that I'll have to put that up, but we'll have a static display with some mad scientist type stuff here. I have like a microscope and a oscilloscope that I'll put out. And this is a leftover from my electric chair prop. I actually still have the chair in the backyard. I'm just not going to put it out this year. And that's like a control panel. They actually kind of work together off of each other. The buttons all light up different things. So it's kind of interactive. If kids want to touch any buttons, they can. And then someone recommended that I just leave the CrossFit rack up and try to incorporate it into the scene for the zombie containment chamber. So that's what I did. I just got some neon cloth from Hobby Lobby and just kind of wrapped it around, mostly for safety because I didn't want anyone running into it. But it doesn't obstruct the view really, and it can still see everything. This is a groundbreaker prop that I'm going to put out in the yard. I'll show you where I'm going to put that. This is a find at Spirit Halloween. They didn't advertise it as The Walking Dead. Lucille from Negan's baseball bat from The Walking Dead, but it certainly looked like that. I touched it up a little bit. I'll do another video on some decorating tips where I'll go into that. And this is the control panel. And so this whole area is pretty big. So really it will allow a crowd to kind of gather around because this is kind of a long sequence. It takes about a minute and a half. I actually have a Fog Fury jet up there that I am trying to synchronize with this, but the Pico DMX that I got is just, I have two of them, but the other one I'm using for the air blast cannon and the one that I'm using for this is not working correctly. So plan B would be to have, I can fire it off remotely, and actually this remote works really good, but I didn't really want to have to sit here and do anything interactive. I wanted to be kind of roaming around, or maybe even doing the final scare, which I'll show you where that is. So you go through this doorway opening, and then the exit will be right here, but there's a hidden little cubby. When this is open, again, there'll be theater flats going along here. That's a little cubby where someone could hide if they wanted to. So we'll see how that works. I actually took this off the motion sensor and actually wired it to the activate, so someone could sit here and just activate it with this switch. But I did that because I couldn't quite get the motion sensor signal synced with the control board for this, which is different than the computer board that controls the DMX Fog Fury jet. So still got a couple of days and I'm pretty much done with everything, so I can kind of tinker around with that if I want. But oh yeah, so that's the groundbreaker. I'll show you where he's gonna go. So as people come up the driveway, if they don't want to go into the haunted house, they can come up to the porch. And then there's going to be, this is another little graveyard scene. This is where the groundbreaker will be back there. This is the bottomless pit. Again, for small kids that don't really want to go into the haunted house. And I think I'm going to put the haunted rocking chair right in the corner right here. And then that's where you can come up and get the candy. stuff, pretty much the rack folds down